Alright, let's see. Audio seems to be working. The model's turned around, but that's okay. That's what I get for stepping away for a few minutes. Alright. If I have my way, today will be the last stream we spend working on this game. Oh, looks like everything's out of order here. Can I fix any of this? Evidently not. Give me like 2 seconds here. I might be able to fix this. Go to my overlay here. Well, ask it. Give me a second here. I'll just scoot on down. And then we'll just what does that look like? Not particularly great. I really screwed up this whole setup. Alright, I think that's just gonna have to be what it looks like for now. Unless I can real quickly... Yeah, there's no shot. This is just what our stream's gonna look like now. Let's not get too lost in it. Anyway, as I said at the top, if I have my way today, this will be the last dev stream. At least in terms of functionality and whatnot. I'll be implementing the audio behind the scenes this week, and then we'll have a stream where we just kind of celebrate the game, and then from there, we'll figure out what the next big thing is. But in the meantime, we have a couple features we need to implement. I have my vault up here, and as you can see, ignore the audio portion. Again, I'm doing that in the background, but today we need to work on motion blur slider, anti-aliasing, combo box, and a depth of field slider, which I don't know if it needs to be a slider, but we'll certainly look into that matter. I'm hoping to knock this out really quickly, so that way we can be done for the day. So first we need to look into how motion blur as a setting operates in Unreal. I think we were playing a little bit with it a couple streams ago, so that we don't need any of this. That's all keybind related stuff. See, this is the apply settings stuff. We should comment box some of these. So this is the back button. This is going to be load game settings. Let's see. This is the apply settings button. Vertical sync enabled. And we'll just very quickly make sure that's in here. Yep. And it even enables the setting in there, so that's good. We'll just call this audio settings. Delete save file. This is motion blur, which we're probably going to change, but let's take a look at that as we go. I don't think we have motion blur called in our game setting stuff, so that means we can mess around with this and see what we find. So let's just, oh yeah, there's some stuff down here. Open keybinds menus. Let's go ahead and slide that up here. Okay, so let's look at motion. Nope. Blur. Evidently, I don't know how motion blur works. So let's do post process. Make post process settings. Here we go. Evidently, you don't get much out of that. Set struct. Make minimal view info. Aha! Okay, we're learning stuff. First person parameters, constraint aspect ratio, perceptive, None of this is what I'm looking for, unfortunately. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. Might need to use our good friend Google for this in a minute, but let me see if I can at least try and figure this out first. Let's remove context sensitive and just search motion blur. Aha! Geometry collection component and skinned mesh component. Interesting. Force motion blur. Geometry collection component. So let's put context sensitive back on. Geometry mesh. I'm not seeing what we're looking for here. Just double checking ourselves here. So motion blur looking like a bust. How about anti-aliasing? Aha! Set anti-aliasing. What about get anti-aliasing quality? Returns anti-aliasing quality 0 to 4. Higher is better. Can we switch? Nope. Probably a project settings thing. Anti-aliasing method. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to want to mimic this for our settings. So let's go to our options menu here. And in between vertical sync and motion blur, we'll just add another horizontal box. Anti-aliasing. And then instead of using a checkbox, we're going to use a... Is it going to be key or string? That's what I can't remember. Let's see, what are the values? Selected option, none. And we'll just kind of mimic the verbiage here. So we have none, fast approximate, so FXAA, TAA, MSAA, and TSR. Okay. So let's do FXAA. Grab another one here. This, I think the next one was what? TAA? TAA, MSAA. TAA, MSAA. And the last one was TSR. And then we wanted this like this, right? I'm trying to remember how we did this. Fill. There we go. Selected option none. So if we test this, missing on generate content widget. Okay, so that's the next issue. We need to make this anti-aliasing combo box. Make it a variable. Compile. Then on event construct, good thing I brought the save game in here. We're going to need a new anti-aliasing. Needs to be an integer. We need to make sure that's something that we load in here. Set anti-aliasing quality. And then from the save game, get anti-aliasing. Whoops. Plug that in right there. See if that makes it work. Missing on generate content widget. Okay. How did we do that for the resolution combo box? Is enabled, visible, on generate widget. Did we literally just click it and then do nothing with it? Nope. Okay, so something else is going on here. Is enabled, visible. Is focusable. Hmm. What is it looking for? Widget object reference. Can I just do self? Well, that's unfortunate. We'll just try that again. Wow. It's always the last minute additions that get you, huh? And we'll let it reopen our windows for us. Let's see if we can't try that again, just see if it was just an Unreal Engine freakout moment there. Compile and save, and then let's make sure our anti-aliasing quality is still there. It is. Okay, so doing reference to self is not the answer. Got it. Good to know. Here, while that's loading, let me see if I can't see an alternative solution. UE5, combo box, on widget, error. The exact cause depends on the type of error you are seeing. Missing on generate content widget text appears. The cause you accidentally used a combo box key widget instead of using a combo box string widget. The key variant requires you to bind a custom blueprint function to generate the list of items dynamically. Oh, that's weird. Delete the combo box and search palette for combo box string. Okay, that's weird. But okay, I guess I can see that being an issue. Roll save versus Unreal. Fail save versus Unreal. Yeah, no kidding. Seriously though, I don't understand why that's an issue. But I guess it is. Oh well. That's Unreal sometimes. Sometimes you think you know what you're doing and it turns out you just straight up don't. So let's save ourselves some time. I'm gonna scroll down here. And then we're gonna screenshot our options. Oh, okay, it's not gonna display that for me. Go to my screenshots folder, there it is. I'm just gonna put that on the other monitor so I can see that. Okay, so get rid of combo box key and get combo box string. It's rather unfortunate, but we can work with that. Okay, so fill and put it to the right. And then we need to put our options in here. So there's none, FXAA, TAA, MSAA, and TSR. And look at that, it's already displaying properly, so that's a good start. Let's see if we can't get our buttons to match this one up here. So button style, obviously we want to use I think we're using like a dark blue to start, a bright blue when hovered. Oh, you know what we're missing? There's an outline. This color. And then I think the outline, we set it as 5, just like our text. Yep, that looks about right. So we did that for normal, we need to do that for hovered. Pressed, we're going to use the darkest blue we got. Give it the same outline settings. Okay, and that's all we need to do there. We do need to change the text color. Is that something I do in here? Item style. Text, text, text. Font, there we go. And then I'm not seeing color. Oh, foreground color. There we go. And then we did give it an outline. Was it an outline of 5? And then the color was the bright blue, it looks like. I don't think that's doing it. Here, let's go to this one. Outline color blue, foreground color white. Do we need to hit compile? Oh, yep, there it is. Oh, unreal. Cool. Now we just need to make this a variable. Let's give it a name first. Anti-aliasing combo box is a variable. And then we can go to our event graph here. We don't need this function anymore. Where is it? Where is it? There we go. Okay, so skip a step. In this window, we need to click on selection changed. There we go. Selection type, can we do switch? That's not what I wanted. Switch on string. That's not helpful. I think I might need to make an enum for this. So let's do that. Blueprint, enumeration, and we'll call this anti-aliasing enum. One, two, three, four. None. FXAA, TAA, MSAA, and then finally TSR. And then we never have to touch that file ever again. Switch on anti-aliasing enum. And then we should be able to enum. Nope. Enum. I thought there was a way to do string to enum, but I guess I am wrong. Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to do a let's see. I keep forgetting how strings work. It's kind of frustrating. Equal exactly. Here we go. Just gonna double check myself on that enum thing real quick. And I might be crazy, but what if we make the enumeration a variable and then try to compare the string to the variable? Anti-aliasing enum. Give that a second to load while I drink some water. Okay, drag this out. Make literal. Nope. Maybe literal by and then to string. Each loop with break. No. What am I trying to do here? I'm going a little crazy. There's got to be a way to connect these up. There was a way. Oh, sure. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work. Okay. Maybe there's some setting I can change in the combo box. Advanced? Nope. I guess we're just gonna make this the sloppy way, which is fine. So we need a equal exactly string. Get our first branch here. And then we're gonna promote this to a variable real quick. Anti-aliasing index. Alright, so if our selection equals none, then we'll set the anti-aliasing index to 0. And then if it doesn't equal none, but it equals fxaa, we'll set the index to 1. And then we're going to rinse repeat this branch until we hit all our points. It's sloppy, but it will get the job done for what we need, because I don't want to get stuck on this all stream. Okay, another branch. MSAA. Or was it, oh, TAA, then MSAA. Might as well just do that. MSAA. And then one more time for... Actually, we don't have to do that one more time, because by the time you get here, it should probably be TSR. So this one will be, if false, set it to 4. Oops. And then if true, we'll set it to 3. And then if true, set it to 2. So now if we hit apply, let me go back up here. We'll set our anti-aliasing quality to this index. Then we'll drag this out a little bit, so that way we can save our new anti-aliasing index. Set anti-aliasing. File and save. So now we can kind of test this real quick. Options, set it to none, set it to TSR, apply settings. That certainly changed things. Okay, he looks kind of sharp. So we go back to options, set it to FXAA, apply settings. Yeah, now it's looking a little blurrier. And then if I set this to none, yeah, so I mean, it's working. Cool. Anti-aliasing is in the game. It's just motion blur now. I say that. Technically, there's also depth of field, but at least that's one thing down. Format, strike through. Okay, let's check if I can find motion blur. UE5. motion blur settings. Use a post-processing volume, project settings, console commands. Main parameters include the amount and max blur scaling properties. That's cool. I'm more interested in giving players control over said motion blur, less interested in how it actually works in the background. Okay, motion blur settings menu. How about that? Let me try with this Google search. Okay, it says that there's a way to put it on a slider. 0 to 4 is the value. Oh, you have to call a console command in the... Okay, I mean, we can try that. Execute console command. So apparently this is the node needed to change the settings on a motion blur, which is wild, but I guess that's what the official method is. Let's see, what does it say? So depending on the slider amount, you want to create an append string node and set A to... Okay, hold on, one thing at a time. Get an append node. And we want to execute the command r.motion blur amount and plug in the slider value into B. So whatever number we pull from our slider needs to be in the B section. That is wild, but I guess I've seen wilder things in Unreal. So I guess we'll hold on to that. Let's add a motion blur slider. So we'll get rid of the checkbox. Oh, right, that's being used. Oh no, stop. Why is Copilot on? Okay, Visual Studio, stop. Thank you. I actually don't need your services. Thank you. Okay. Whew. So this is what we need to get rid of. Now that that's done, we should be able to delete that checkbox. There we go. Okay, let's get a slider. Make sure it fills to the right. And then we need to set the minimum value to 0, maximum value to 4. And we'll leave the value as 0 by default. Let's make sure we give it some style. Slider bar color. Let's make the handle... Let's leave the handle white and maybe make the... You know, our audio slider is white with the blue handle. We'll just do that. Okay, so now the question is, why is it not long? Especially since we used a fill. Or maybe the padding just needs to be filled out? Okay, maybe not. Okay, definitely not. So there's probably a setting down here. Or not. Okay, how did we do it on the audio slider? Oh, bar thickness 10. Maybe that's part of it. Bar thickness 10. Was it image size? Nope. Step size, we want to do 1. Oh, advanced. Nope. Man, I wish I remembered how I did this. Okay, hovered is not what we want. Disabled, bar thickness. Front throttling is enabled. Scale 1:1, 1:1. Fill 1.0. Ah, yeah, okay, that's on me. I'll take that. Okay, slide bar color, we actually wanted white. There it is. So if we run this real quick, kind of letting us slide wherever. So we might need to look into why that's allowing us that, because I only want it to be 0 to 4, whole numbers only. The amount to adjust the value by when using a controller or keyboard. So yeah, it should be by 1 point. Whether the handle is inactive or fixed. Whether the sidebar area should be indented to fit the handle. Sets new value if mouse position is greater. Maybe that. Ah, there we go. It's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Cool. So now that the slider is in place, we need to make it actually function. So motion blur slider. Make it a variable. Compile. Just in case, save. On value changed. Here we go. I'm gonna need to slide this up here. Let's promote this to a variable, and we'll call this motion blur value. Let's get rid of this. Is this is checked used anywhere else? No, it's not. Okay, we can get rid of it. There we go. Okay, so we got our motion blur value. Now we just need to take this up here. Plug in our motion blur value. And then to make sure that gets saved, slide to the right, drag this out. Let's go to our save. Let's see, we don't have any motion blur tracks, so we need a float because it's using a slider. Motion blur amount. Compile and save. Go back to our menu, drag off of here. Set oh. It's doing the weird thing where I can't use the node. I gotta drag off of here. Set motion blur amount. Then we can disconnect this, connect it up to here. Did I type motion blue and not motion blur? Oh my. Whatever. It's not a big deal. No one's gonna see that but me. It's fine. Let's not think about it. Okay, so this can go away. But we do need to copy this stuff up top on the event construct. So event construct, load game from save slot. And we want to similarly do that. And then also motion blur, motion blur, motion blur. get motion blur, set value, then drag off of here, get motion blur amount. Plug that here, get rid of this, and plug this here like that. So now we should see some different levels of motion blur. I don't know if it's going to be noticeable with these animations, but we can certainly try it. So let's do one up. I honestly can't tell if there was much of a blur. Here, let's make it max. Maximum motion blur. It's probably working. I genuinely can't tell. So... oh, maybe it would help if I actually plug that in, huh? Here, let's apply the maximum motion blur. And then we'll just do a quick new run. Oh god, I forgot I had sound on. I can kind of see the blur. It's not like too noticeable, but it's certainly there. Yeah, okay, so that's motion blur and anti-aliasing done, so that's cool. I guess when the game gets released, people can tell me if it was working or not, and then I'll be like, cool, thanks for letting me know. I don't know if I can fix it, but we'll find out together. Alright, for today's stream, I think we'll just finish working on depth of field, and then we can, we'll start putting together an itch.io page, because why not? I won't upload the game tonight, because I still need to finish the audio. You can even see, like, stuff to do. But we can set up the page, so that way when I do finish the audio, we can expedite the process of getting it ready to go. Alright, depth of field. This is going to be new, so let's comment this off. Motion blur. Okay, let's drag off of here and type in depth. Ooh, this is going to be another execute command, isn't it? Okay, Google time. Depth of field. Access through a Cine camera actor or post-process volume. This sure looks like it's something that's controlled in the player character. Let me pull that up. So if we click on the camera, yep, so depth of field is controlled in here. Oh, that's a lot of settings. Sorry, I'm not smart enough to want to play with all this and find like the optimal depth of field settings. I guess let's just look at the options menu and see if there's anything else we need to do. We have resolution, we have vertical sync, we have anti-aliasing, we got motion blur, we got gameplay audio, we got music audio. We got keybinds for keyboards, and I think I tweeted this out last week after the stream. But I did get to making the gamepad keybinds separate from keyboard keybinds. So next time, or not next time, when this game gets released, instead of being worried that, you know, adding a punch keybind on your keyboard is going to mess with the gamepad keybind, you don't have to worry about that anymore. And to show you how I did this is literally only going to take looking at the default mapping context. So light attack gamepad. Heavy attack gamepad. Lock on gamepad. That's all I did. I made a separate gamepad input and then just made it a separate widget to control your keybinds on gamepad. You can see gamepad keybinds here, keyboard keybinds there. That's all I did. I didn't do anything fancy, which I'm pretty sure is probably the standard, but at least it works. I think everything's done, honestly. Yeah, I think it's just audio. And truth be told, the only reason I don't want to stream the audio process is because it's not pretty. I open up when it comes to like the sound effects, like punching and impact. I literally took a I'll credit the original sound designer in the credits for this game, which I probably should make. But essentially, I took a gunshot sound effects pack from itch.io, and then I just modified it in engine to sound slightly different depending on the context it's being used in and which form you are. And again, it's not great. It's just kind of a whatever kind of deal. Maybe we'll just add a credits on the bottom right here, or bottom left. It's really better. Let's just do this real quick, because there's not a whole lot to credit. Add a border within that border. And then slide this down. We want this one to be blue. We want this one to be black. We want this one to have... What did I use? Size 10? Size 10 padding. And then we'll slide it a little bit to the right. Yeah, that should work. And then we'll just stretch this out. Get some text. What font am I using? Just Roboto? Yeah, just Roboto. Okay, so we'll set the text color. White is actually fine. We just want to change the outline. So outline 5, make it blue. Maybe we'll just shrink the font down a little bit. Let's go half size, so 16. That'll work. So there's only really 2 people to credit. Sound effects by... Let me pull up his username on itch.io real quick. Like, the weapon pack is called Snake's Weapon Sounds, I believe. Oh, and now I'm not going to find it. Why am I not going to find it? Game assets? Okay. Snake's gun sounds? Yep, there it is. Here, I'll put it on the window here. This is the asset pack that I've been using sounds for the hit sound effects. I used this for Cafe des Armes, and I think I also used it for Ocean War. It's a good sound effect pack, honestly. They have sound effects that echo, they have sound effects that are isolated, they have reload sounds, magazine removal sounds, bolt action sounds. It's a great pack. It's done by Snake F8. So if you are working on a project and want some decent sound effects, I highly recommend this pack. It's free, and And he has a second gun pack for smaller firearms. It's pretty great. So we're going to credit him. So let's go back here. So sound effects by Snake F8, and then I'll just put itch.io so that people are like, where? That's where. And then we'll just put developed capitalization. Developed by kaijucon. Then we'll just adjust the placement and size of the border to accompany what we need. Let's bring it up to -150. Okay, -170. Okay. Size 500 by 100? 150. 125. There we go. And then we'll just give the text padding some additional room on top. There we go. So now if we do this, the credits will be on every screen, which, you know, it's fine. It's not crazy or anything. Alright, I guess all that's left is to do the itch page. Just in case, let me put this off and open up the page myself here. Just in case itch tries to show anything doxworthy. I doubt they will. I don't think they do. Okay. You know what? I'll spare your eyes. Let me change the background to black so that way you guys don't have your eyes hurt as much as mine just went off. Save. Okay. So I did put together a brief itch page after the jam, so that way when I was done I can get this set up. I put together a fake story, I put together the gameplay structure, and then I put the controls. We can change all that now. Oh shoot, you know what? We do have one more thing we can work on. I totally forgot about this. So our tutorial screens don't actually say what keybinds if you change them. So we need to actually do that real quick. This should be pretty quick, so let's not lose too much sleep here. The issue is the description does kind of require it. Yeah, tutorial text enum. Okay, so we're gonna have to get fancy with this. Tutorial library, here we go. Maybe we can do something with this. Okay, so that means we need to adjust the structure. Okay, let's read our tutorial text real quick, just to make sure we're on the right page. Press F or left bumper on controller. So maybe just transform, and then just type keyboard F, controller, left bumper. Okay, let's see if we can get that set up in the actual tutorial screen. So how are we pulling this information? Index count, tutorial index, add index count, get data table row, find the row, set the that. And then the get text is enum to string. Okay. So tutorial header, tutorial text. I think we're going to need one more text box for the keybind, unless we set it up in the graph itself, which we can do. And by can, I mean we will. Let's do an append. Plug that there. And then we're going to need to get the keybinds. So if we close the options and the character menu here, how do we pull that info before? So we cast to the save, keybind array. Okay. Can we do event construct, cast to hero save game, sorry, load game from slot, hero slot, that is what it's called, right? Hero slot, okay, cool. Grab that, paste that here. And we probably actually don't need that loop. We just need to, actually maybe we do. For each loop, and we want to get the action, okay, well, okay, how do we do that here? Get object name. Ah, okay. Get object name. Let's add it to an array. No, this is so tough. There's got to be a better way to do this. Can I do find? Okay, well, I don't want to make a new one. I just want to find one specifically. Select. Nope. Okay. Maybe this is going too far. Think. There's got to be a way to do this simple. Oh, right. Gotta also fix this part. Input key. Board. Input gamepad. Can we do action reference? Input action key mapping. Oh my god, is it actually going to be that simple? And then if I go to the library, oh my god, it's actually that simple. But I want the actual action from the actual keybind. So can I do input action key mapping? Input action key mapping. Okay, that's still not what I'm looking for. We can figure this out. What did I call my Input stuff. Default mapping context. Default mapping. Okay. No. Key mapping row. What does that look like? Mappings. Oh, that's resoundingly unhelpful, actually. Okay, so that's not what we're looking for. Mapping. Player key mapping represents a single key mapping that is set by the player. Okay, let's try that. Mapping name. I can't change that. Okay, so this is not what we're looking for either. Hold on. Data asset. Input mapping context. Input mapping context. Object reference. Okay, that's something. So now that I have that something, get text. Here we go. I have the library in here, right? Tutorial library. Here we go. Get data table. Actually, we have that in the event graph. Oh, did I get rid of something important? I did. Tutorial image. 2D texture. Let's run the tutorial just in case to make sure I didn't break it any further than I already have. Oh, that's tough. Okay. Oh, the images are all gone. No. I have no one to blame but myself. Oh, I can't believe I fumbled this bad. Okay, so transformation tutorial should be this one. There we go. Alright, suit battery is this one. There we go. Lock on is this one. Light attack is this one. Heavy attack is this one. I just put that on dodge, didn't I? I did. Oh, I guess I could also search it. Yeah, okay. Dodge. Heavy attacks. Special attack. And did I even call it new henshin? I did not. Okay, what did I call it? Henshin choice. Of course it's called henshin choice. Okay, now if we go back. There we go. It's all back to normal. Now we just gotta do this stuff. Input keyboard from the data table library. Context object reference. Okay, so if I promote that to a variable, go back to the library, what can I set that as? Oh, that is resoundingly unhelpful. But I mean, it's a step forward. It's a step forward. So we just need to use this in a way that's important. So if we set that variable, right? And then do get enhanced user input settings. I just want the inputs. Get mappings. Break. Nope. Oh, get. Oh, shoot. You're gonna make me do this again anyway. Okay. Whatever, man. Break. Get key. Get player mappable key settings. I feel like I'm going down a rabbit hole. Input. Okay, you know what? We need Google. Oh my god, not this window. I need the other window. Okay, Unreal Engine 5, call, player, keybind. Mapping it to an input context, calling it inside your character or player controller blueprint. Create an input action. That's not what I'm looking for. Unreal Engine, call, player keybind, settings. Why is this so hard? Okay, let's just do this. Get for loop going. For each loop with break. Plug this in here. Does the action equal but we have to know the tutorial index. This is frustrating. Data table row. This is so much. Let's do this. We'll go to the inputs. We'll open this default mapping context. And we'll literally change the name of the row names to maybe support what we got going on here. No, we can't because it's got to be gamepad too. Okay. Maybe what we'll do is add some string. Call it input keyboard context. And we'll add a input gamepad context. And then what we'll do is we'll name these values the input that we're trying to pull from here. So we need to set that up. Light attack and light attack gamepad is what we're going to start with. No, it's not, because we got to start with the transformation tutorial. Form shift and form shift gamepad. Form shift and form shift underscore gamepad. Okay, and then we're gonna test that. That's what we're gonna do first, before we get too lost in this. So branch. We're gonna do get object name. Equals exactly that. If true, can we do to string? String? Okay. Not what I'm looking for. Inputs. Keyboard values. Nope. I just want the info. Oh my god. Ah. How did I do it on the keybinds front? It just kind of did it. Oh, make input chord. Can I make input chord string? I don't think that's gonna work. Okay. Okay. Break input chord. It just puts it back into a key. This is painful. There's gotta be a way to make this work. Utilities? Array. Definitely not array. Instance struct. Operators. Probably not. Select. Oh, that's not helpful. Struct. Make device button state. Make enhanced action key mapping. Make. It's all make, which I don't think I want. Ah! How about instead of call player keybind settings, how about display player keybind settings in my search here? How to get add game controls on screen in Unreal Engine 5. Get enhanced input user settings. Oh, am I doing this all wrong again? But at the same time, okay, one thing at a time. Get enhanced input user, no? Enhanced input user cast? Oh god. Enhanced input world subsystem. Oh, local player subsystem. Plug that there. To fetch active key mappings and populate your rows. Not what I was looking for. This is not very clear. Data reference mapping key bindings. Rich text decorator, which allows for some custom XML to state both what text and what input name you have. That's not helpful. Have a look at this form thread associated with this project. I might just have to say press the inputs, and I don't want to do that. So let's see if we can't figure something out. There's got to be something I'm missing. Sets the player mapped key to current profile. I just want to get the info. Get profile key. Get key profile with ID. This could be something. Let's see. How do I want to test this? Here. We'll just do that. Print string. Can we do this? We can. Okay. Once the tutorial screen pops, it should do this. It very much did not. Okay. Oh, geez. Oh, I know where that is. Okay, that error is coming from here. So if we just break this. Enhanced input user settings does not inherit from advanced input local player subsystem. Okay. Get enhanced. This one. Then get player controller. Cool. There we go. Okay. That doesn't work either. Cast to enhanced. No. Wow, okay. Cast to enhanced. Input user settings. Enhanced. Local player subsystem. Enhanced input user settings. Maybe that's the flow that they're looking for. Drag that over there, drag that here, drag this across. I don't think that worked either. I was hoping it would print the string. Maybe if I plug this at the end of event construct, I'll see stronger results here. Because this is currently doing nothing, we can probably just get rid of all this. That did nothing. Okay. So why wouldn't this work? It says profile ID. What if we do... Can we call on a specific key mapping profile? Nope. What? This is so frustrating. Query keys map to action. Are we about to cook? Ah. Oh, get key display name? That still didn't work. What do you mean? Okay, better question. Is event construct even working? So let's just do a print string. Oh yeah, it's working. So why isn't this working? Okay, so here's what we got going on. Event construct. As soon as this widget is attempted to be created, get the player controller, get the enhanced input local player subsystem, query keys mapped to action, any keys mapped to light attack, and then for each instance of that key, get the key display name, print the string. That should have printed, it did not. Okay. So we do have this as well. Is that even being loaded? I don't think it's being loaded. Yeah, it's not being loaded right now. Let's plug that in. So that's the input keyboard, which is literally just a reference to this. But get text, plug this back up. On completed, go up to here. Maybe instead of getting mappings, we want to get query keys mapped to action, which we can't do there, and we can't do there, so probably not. Unless... Nope. Oh, this is so frustrating. Does not cast. I just don't understand what they are looking for here. Maybe... Nope, that was worth a shot. Yeah, I'm just not entirely sure what I'm supposed to get from this. Like, this node clearly has a purpose. It can clearly convert to text. It can clearly convert to string. It just chooses not to, and I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe disable long display name? Nope. Yeah, that would cause errors, wouldn't it? Okay. Oh! I just wanted to make a tutorial, man. I don't know why this is so difficult. Can I somehow do... Input action key mapping, input action instance, runtime query action instance. Nope, 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 nope. Input action value. Well, that's blank, so I'm not entirely sure if that works. I guess worst case scenario. Yeah, just get rid of this. What did I put that on? Input action keyboard. So print string. Yeah, this is not gonna work either, is it? Break input action value. Oh, that's value. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for, man. Input action object reference. Oh! We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. Can I do query? No, let's not do that. Get player mappable key settings. No, I don't want that. I just want the value. Input. No, key. I need the key. These are all messages. Data math, Risa keys, message. These are all messages. Not what I want. Oh my god, we're so close and yet so far. I feel bad. The last couple streams have been me like going, here's what we're gonna do today, and then we get stuck on stuff I probably should have looked into before the stream. Query map key in active context set. Query keys map to action. Let's do that. Drag this out. Action. Light attack. And then we should be able to just, for each loop, get key display name. This is probably not going to work again, but I want to at least try it. Yeah, that didn't work. This hurts. Hmm. 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 Nope, not that. Target is an object reference. Uh. Up. There it is. There it is. I saw it. I saw it. Oh my god. Hold on. 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 Oh my god. We're about to do it. We're about to do it. Okay, I think what we're going to need to do is spin these off to be custom functions, and then have those functions be loaded when called upon. So we're going to need all this. Let's do get keyboard input. We're going to cut all this into here. Add an input. This will be our input action object reference. Input action object reference. Plug that in here. Cool. Now we can drag off of here. Get keyboard input. Boom. And in theory, if we just plug it in like this, it should still print the string. So watch up here on the top left. Left mouse button. Feels good. Okay, so now we need to actually make this a variable that we can use. So we will promote to variable. We'll call it keyboard input. Where is that variable being used? Okay, so it's not actually being used. Cool. That also means we can get rid of these strings from the struct. Cool, 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 cool. Okay, now we can go to the get text. So the tutorial text says, when belt is fully charged, transform. So we need to flesh this out a little bit more, unfortunately. Ah, I shouldn't have deleted those strings. Keyboard text. And then gamepad text. And these will say the same thing throughout the entire table. It's basically just going to say like, oh, on keyboard press this, or on gamepad type, hit this. I forgot to make them actually strings. Okay, this was a journey, but we did this. Keyboard input. Gamepad input. This does also mean we're probably going to have to resize the tutorial screen, but I don't mind that at all. So let's get that set up. So there's so much to set up. We'll just promote this to a variable and just say keyboard text. We can delete it because we're not actually gonna pull it from the table. Keyboard input. Then we can just duplicate that. Gamepad text. Gamepad input. Then go back to here. Do that. Add keyboard. And then we can test this. Form shift. Is enemy as strong as you, but not for long when your belt is fully charged? Transform keyboard input, and why is it blank? Oh, because this isn't plugged in. That might cause an issue in the game trying to display the text I want it to display. Just might. There it is! F! Yes! You can't see it right now, but I got my fists up to my chest like, yes! Yes! Okay. We got some work to do. But at least this is heading the right direction. So we'll just do another indent here. Add 2 more pins. Gamepad text. And then we need to set up gamepad inputs. We'll just plug it in like that. Luckily, it's basically this same function, but for the gamepad equivalent of the action. So we need to set that up in here. It does require us to put the right stuff in the structure, but that's okay. Input action. Form shift gamepad. Then we can just duplicate this, get gamepad input, get rid of this, and then from here, get gamepad input. Gamepad input left shoulder. Yes. Oh, I should not be this excited about this, but man, I needed this. Okay, so we need to probably just raise this box up. And that should be what we need to do. So if we go back to the designer tab, just bring this up a bit. Bring this down a hair. Let's make sure those are whole numbers too. Let's do 415. Yes! We'll need to probably edit the text to probably better fit the grammar and whatnot, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. First, we need to set up everything else. So we need to do next is suit battery, which doesn't require any inputs, does it? I don't think so. Maybe I do need to keep this in here. Yeah, I do need to put the... Okay. Go back to the tutorial screen. Let's see. How do I want to do this? That keyboard text. Set gamepad text. Issue is, it's gonna be like... Here, hold on. Got it, and then... Yeah, it's still pulling the action mappings from the previous. Is that because the... Yeah, no, they're blank. It's just saving the last value, because the last value is the only true valid value. So maybe if I do a branch and do is valid. If true, do that. If false, we'll set keyboard input to nothing. Alright, we'll just run this test real quick, and then I'm gonna have to call it. Yeah, that didn't work. Okay. Actually, you know what? I bet I know how to fix this. Basically, pull this back. Is valid. Branch. If true, continue doing your own thing. If false, set this to blank. Maybe that's why. Emphasis on maybe. Okay, for real. After this, I will have to call it. Okay, that worked. So I'll go ahead and finish this up probably throughout the week. But I do have to call it for now. So thanks to everyone who came by. Sorry that this was a big troubleshooting stream instead of actually finishing everything, but at least we got the user settings done. It's just about fixing the tutorial and finishing the audio. So let me just actually mark that as much. So main menu functionality is done. That's the good news. Let's just do this. To do finish audio and fix tutorial screens. Cool. Anyway, hope you all have a good one. I'll schedule the next stream for... I believe the next stream will be this coming Sunday. But if that changes at all, I'll update the relevant schedule panels and whatnot. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.